All right, you guys been waiting for it. Nobody's ever got to see me and Jungle Doug do what we do live. I mean, some of you who come out and stuff like that. But as far as the masses, if you're in Amsterdam, if you're in Nacogdoches, Louisiana, if you just Nacogdoches, Louisiana. I'm sorry, Nacogdoches. You've never seen what this is, and this is what this is. The legendary Jungle Doug has joined us from the studios of Mix 92.9 in Nashville.
Woo! How you doing, Gary?
I'm doing well. We've been trying to work this out, and Doug was like, and I said, because I do these on Wednesdays, and I said, hey, Wednesdays, can you join me? And he goes, yeah. And then he texts me back, and he goes, I'm filling in on Wednesday. I'm like, okay, you don't have to do this. He goes, nah, I'll do it.
I miss you, man. I love being together. The magic that always was and is and will be.
Well, it's something strange. I always tell everybody, because somebody asked me that years ago. They're like, what was it about you and Jungle Doug? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was just, I so enjoyed his company. I mean, I never didn't look forward to coming to work and be with him. And I will say this to Doug, and I've said it to his face, and I've said it on podcasts before too. He was just, that guy you see is who he is. He's just a very happy, nice man. He is gigantic. He's like 7'8". and God put the most gentle heart in a man that size, because Doug could crush my skull. But he never has, and Lord knows I've given him reason.
No.
So you've had a journey over the last few months.
Oh my gosh. I came out to Nashville to go into Christian radio and transition to a station, and then was involved with a station that I signed on day one, 21 and a half years ago. And then the higher-ups decided they need a couple of dollars, so they sold it. So 21 and a half years through the entire run of 94 FM, The Fish in Nashville, was my journey, but now that journey is ended. Doggone it.
Wow, you and I are tied to the hip, huh? What's funny is because, again, with KRTY, Bob Keeve died. He was 98 years old, not a tragedy. And then his board, who were all of his friends who were 90-year-old people, they didn't want to have to deal with it anymore. And so they sold it. And the funny thing of it is you and I, both of our stations got bought by the same people.
That's true. Educational Media Foundation, otherwise known as K-Love or Air One. So go figure.
So we're still tied to the hip.
That's right.
Both of us found ourselves on the outside looking in. And you were doing fantastically well. You and I was doing fantastically well. I mean, our ratings were just stratospheric. And sometimes it just happens. Sometimes that's just the way it works. And it leads you to the next thing you're supposed to do. And it's been, I've been on this road longer than Doug has. I've been on it going on 3 years now. Can you imagine it's been that long?
Wow.
3 years into it.
Wow.
And so I'm just saying, it's scary when it first happens. A lot of people give you support, and then you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
So,
It's been quite the journey. And I will say, I don't know what it's like in California, but in Tennessee, not a whole lot of love when you file the unemployment. Man, the numbers are so low in this right-to-work state.
So what is that like? What do you have to do?
You basically have to go in on this online portal and submit 4 job applications each week for I'm getting the most of anybody in the state of Tennessee. From what I made, I'm getting the most, a whopping $325 a week, which after taxes is $292. So to get your $292, you got to do 4 online submissions of jobs and go in on the portal every Sunday to get your money. You can make $85 before it affects your benefits. Last week, for example, I DJ'd a party, and I'm declaring my income as opposed to, I guess I didn't have to, but playing by the rules, I made too much last week. I made $550 last week, so that's too much to get any unemployment this week.
Isn't it crazy the game you have to play? And what kind of, what did you apply for? Did you apply for radio gigs?
There were some radio gigs. I also applied to be a ghost tour provider, to walk the streets of Nashville and to tell the ghost stories related to the Ryman Auditorium and Ernest Tubbs Record Shop and Tootsie's.
You would be awesome at that.
I think it would be fun. I was a little put off though because it happens rain or shine, and you got to be outside, and the humidity and walking and stuff in the summer was just too crazy.
Did they reach back out?
They reached back out. They gave me an 18-page script to memorize, and then I said, "Yeah, I don't really know if I can do this." So here's one thing that I have to do, and that is I have to give a weather forecast. Here, so
on the radio, go do what you need to do.
Today at LisaMD.com.
Afternoon sunshine, still some clouds passing through. Highs today near 90. We could make it to the mid-90s for a high temperature on Thursday, putting the feels-like temperature near 100. Rain and storm chances increase. Some strong storms possible Friday. I'm News 2 meteorologist Marcus Bagwell on Mix 92.9. Thank you so much. Weather brought to you by LASIK MD. 83 degrees right now in Music City.
all right, now we're done.
You guys who can do the patter without a problem, you're kind of Ryan Seacrest in the fact that you can just read it without any foibles in your face, and that's just not what I do. I'd be like, yeah, coming out the weather today, it's what's going to be 100. I think it's brought to you by, Johnson's Wax. Yeah, that's what it is. I just can't. I tried. So I always envied that about you. I was always happy when we worked together. You always had to do the live bits. Doug would always do the live stuff. Hey, this is brought to you by, because Jerry would screw it up.
That was fun. And I will say, I've always said this too. You gave me opportunity to be myself. You know, growing up in the San Francisco Bay Area, doing traffic before you and I had a show, and that's how we got connected, was through traffic. I worked with some big names or whatever in San Francisco radio, and they were so egotistical. They didn't want this little traffic guy to have any part of anything, and I always appreciated how you included me in. You said I had to be funny and I couldn't one-up you just for the hell of it, but you gave me a chance to do something, and that's what I always appreciate.
As I've always told you, whoever has the line, I want you to have it. And then we're when you hit the line. Yeah, because I learned a long time ago, I get the credit. If my show is funny, they won't go, they go, yeah, those guys are really funny. And so that's it. And I figured out early on, you were very funny and very quick. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring this guy in because he's really sharp, right? And I just couldn't just go, oh yeah, okay, I'll say this. Like, no, that worked out. Okay, I have to ask you because I know your time's limited with me. How, if you follow Doug on social media whatsoever, he's been testing to be on the Wheel of Fortune. Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, that's been quite the journey. So it starts off with I play the game on my phone on the app, and there's a little pop-up, you want to be on the show, so I fill it out. They contact me. They say you want to have a little Zoom interview. So I come on, and they sort of test your energy, and they say, okay, we'll let you know when you qualified for the next round. 2 hours later, I qualify for the next round. They're like, pick a day and time. You're going to get on a Zoom call with about 4 other people and play the game and bring your energy and dress to impress. So before that Zoom call, I was pretty stressed. And you got to picture this. I have readers, but I didn't want to use them, on television. So I bought this selfie stick, really tall, put it behind the big TV in our living room, cleared out all the furniture, stood there in a suit in my living room. And you know how they play the puzzles at the beginning where you have to ring in, to guess what it is as the letters are being revealed? They want you to have a pen. So you had to have a pen in hand, and with 3 other people on the Zoom, the letters are being revealed on this puzzle, and when you thought you knew it, you had to go, Buzz, Doug. And then they calmed, and they said, this is high tech. They said, Doug, what do you think it is? And I said, oh, it's this and this, and then you were right or wrong. And I did okay on that. I got 1. And then the hard part is they take you into a private room, a private Zoom, and they reveal 4 partially filled puzzles at a time. They'll say your category is things. Here's 4 puzzles. Here's 70 seconds, knock yourself out. No additional letters, no feedback, no nothing. So you're just there going, okay, puzzle one, that dog is blue, whatever it is. So you're trying to work through, and then after 70 seconds, they do it again. You do it 4 times. And then at the end of that, they go, hey, thank you. The producers have your information, so we'll let you know. We appreciate it. And who knows? I could get on. I could not get on.
Wow. And game shows are stressful. I mean, you know, Julie was on To Tell the Truth. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Julie and her husband at the time in Los Angeles, they used to go on game shows as a way to supplement their income.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And my sons are all the time because, well, they're like, why don't you go on Jeopardy? Because I'll know stuff. And I'm like, listen, buddy, when you see those guys who don't know any answers, you have to realize they are the smartest people you'll ever meet. But if you don't get the categories that fit your gameplay, if you go at 17th century French art, guess who's out? Right? Geological standards, out. Superheroes, I got a chance.
Okay.
80s bands, 70s bands, music and stuff like that, I got a chance.
Doctor Who?
Oh, Doctor Who, even though, I've just decided that they just don't do the show for me.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Everybody has their run. And I had a very long run with Doctor Who. And now they've just turned it to where it's not really the show I always watched, right? What I loved. It's okay. It's okay. And it's fine. It's not a criticism of them. That's not a me badgering them. At some point, it's like Star Trek. If you watch the new Star Trek, it's not really built for us old Star Trek fans.
That's true.
And so you go, all right. Listen, he is on a time schedule, and I've already took way too much of his time. But thank you, my friend. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Got this. You're going to be just fine.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And we'll do it again soon. I had such a blast.
I can't wait. And keep me posted on Wheel of Fortune.
I will. Trust me.